me, I will be evaluating my friend Taylor, not Kyle. So he wanted me to share that travel has a way of challenging what we think is normal. Tonight, Taylor shares how a trip to Brazil changed the way he thinks about culture, expectations, and embracing the unfamiliar. Please help me welcome Taylor Oldham.
I consider myself pretty open-minded until people start to think differently than I do. And I would say a 2-week trip to Brazil really exposed this weakness of mine, that's for sure. We grow up thinking where we live is normal, and then as I traveled more, I started to realize that maybe normal is just where you grow up, and normal for them is where they grow up. And it was quickly hit in the face with this when I got to Brazil with a wedding that we were there to attend. And the ceremony started about 2 hours late, but no one said anything that it was going to be 2 hours late. It just was. And the crazy part was that the Brazilian guests were still showing up about 90 minutes into that 2 hours. But nobody was upset. There was no upset bride. There was no angry grandma. There were just hugs, laughters, and smiles. I was like, wow, maybe these people value something differently. My second moment where I got hit in the face with culture was me and my friend were sitting in there. He wanted a beer. So we stood in line, waited for a beer. We get to the front, and they say, hey, you have to use a ticket to buy the beer. You can't use a credit card here. Okay, so we go, we stand in this line. We get to the front, get the ticket, go back, stand in this line, go to the front, hand them the ticket. They go, no. This is the cocktail line. The beer line is over there. It's like, oh my gosh, all right. So that's when I realized I'm gonna stop fighting Brazil. So, when the waitress sat down to eat her dinner mid-meal when we still don't have our food and there's drinks all over, or the Uber drivers, they would stop to get gas while you're rushing to the airport to catch a flight. And then the Uber app would ask for 6-star ratings, not 5. Why 5 wasn't enough, I don't know. But I realized that fighting it was just gonna cause a lot more pain. So I said, okay, I wanna connect with these people. I want to understand them more. But one thing I did not realize is that under 5% of the population speaks English in Brazil. And speaking Portuguese. But then something pretty interesting happened. See, soccer down there is religion. They love it. It was on every TV, superstars, every game. So we go out to dinner that night, we sit down, and all of a sudden I see these waiters standing around, and they're like pointing over in my direction. I'm just like, I don't think they're pointing at me. That's just my main mind playing tricks. You can see a waiter walk over here. Same thing. They're all kind of like looking in our direction, and I'm just like, am I that white? Like, I don't know what's going on. Guy locks eyes with me, walks all the way across the restaurant, and I'm just like, oh no, what did I do? Like, am I in trouble? And he goes, "Você parece Messi." "Você parece Messi." And I was like, and my friend goes, oh, he says you look like Lionel Messi from Argentina, the superstar soccer player. Oh, and he wants a picture with you. I was like, but he's playing on TV. Clearly I'm not Messi. He just wants a picture. So I take a picture with this guy. Another waiter comes by, asks for a picture as well. Okay, so we're laughing. We leave that restaurant, we go to another bar. As soon as we walk in, this girl sees me, she goes, Messi! Once again, he's on the TV playing, like nobody thinks I'm actually Messi. Fast forward the next day, we're walking around a college campus. I probably took 20 more pictures the next day with people, and I'll show you guys the video later, just picture after picture, thinking I look like Messi. It was comical, and it was another moment where I realized, you know what, like in America, if you see someone that looks like Messi, you're just gonna be like, hey, you look like Messi. You're not gonna walk up and ask me for a picture. But in Brazil, it's not weird, apparently. And that was a huge aha moment for me was, I spent all this time thinking all these differences in the cultures, but maybe they're not breaking the rules, they're just living by a different set of rules. So like my takeaway is like, I'm still gonna be on time to weddings. I'm not gonna I'm gonna be annoyed if I wait in 3 lines for a beer, okay? And I'm not gonna ask someone for a picture if they look like Messi, or maybe I will, I don't, maybe. But my takeaway here when I left was that I want to be more patient with how I react to somebody else's normal, not my normal. And that the more I fought Brazil, the harder it got, the less fun it was. And ultimately, different doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be experienced. And so I want to make sure that I always experience the difference. So I ask you, if you do go to Brazil, highly recommend Rio. It's a jungle of a city, right on the ocean, vines, trees exploding out of the ground, amazing. Only thing I didn't see was monkeys, but everything else was there. But if you do go, I ask you, don't fight it, but experience it. Thank you.
I had a blast listening to his speech because I'm from Venezuela and everything that he said can be applied to Colombia, right? Right? Yeah, pretty much. In Mexico,